Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurvia Anggai. I'm from the third semester of English Education Department. I'm here as a pro team. Male leadership positions in the workplace are better than women. I support this because enough research has proven that men make better leaders than women. Leadership characteristics have a heavier level, including honesty, intelligence, and assertiveness are considered very important leadership qualities. In almost all survey cases, women do show higher score than men, but men rank first in the management competency category according to the Harvard Business Review survey, namely the ability to develop strategies, perspective. And also male leaders score higher on the aspect of making difficult decisions and even handling controversial or critical issues and handling calmly and confidently. In the new study, research found that society perceives men as having good leadership qualities, but when women people tend to be more skeptical or less trusting. Based on the opinion of Alonso Almeida, women's participation in leadership roles is still very low and still relatively low through their education or labor levels of participation. The San Francisco intern company Women.co conducted a study on leadership in a company, and it was found in the result of the study that more than half of employees like their job if the controlling is a male boss. As for research from the University of Toronto in the United States, they suggest that the gender of the boss greatly affects the stress level of employees. This study was conducted to compare the stress level of employees, and the results of the study said that 63% of female employees chose to be led by men than women. Generally, male gender is related to masculine gender, while female gender is related to feminine gender. And based on the opinion of Everin, so far the stereotype of leaders is higher in masculine characteristics. This happens because masculine characters who are close to independent and challenging characters are considered more effective in leading. In my opinion, male bosses or leaders have more logical thinking, have better vision, use less emotion, make wiser decisions, tend to prioritize work plans and strategies within the company, and are more professional. Meanwhile, female leaders often involve emotions in carrying out work, are easily influenced by moods, and are often carried away by problems from home to office. Men in the late tend to be good at comparing themselves, which means they will let others know about their success as strength, and in this case can help develop themselves while cementing their position as leaders. Male leaders prefer to use a style that is based on the office of formal authority and the basis for him to exercise influence. So, and thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sakanna Supardi. I'm from the third semester of TBI class. I'm here as a theme about women make better leaders than men. Kartini Day on 21 April reminds us of the struggle for women's emancipation. How in this sophisticated and free era, women have the right to appear and voice their aspiration. The right to be free but still responsible make women has the right to advance as leaders. Women also have the right to control and be at the top of leadership. Unfortunately, there are still many negative stereotypes against women. Women are just weak, emotional, and often irrational. The emergence of discourse on women's leadership in Indonesia began at the end of 1998. At this time, there was debate about the gender of a leader. There are always pros and cons that decorate and debate. Although it needs to be admitted in the end that there are no written regulations that prohibit women from becoming leaders. For example, the MPR decree states both women and men as long as they meet the characteristic of a leader. Number 2, 1973, the country was allowed to advance and was elected by the people as president. Behind all the opportunities that exist, admittedly, women also have weaknesses when they become leaders. First, physical limitation and the scope of movement that women have. Men are created with physically stronger condition and women are the lower level. This makes the attitude of a female leader different from that of a male leader. Likewise, the scope of motion, many women have not been able to show potential in extreme fields. Therefore, there is a profession that is rarely occupied by a woman, for example, truck drivers. But if you look deeper and more objectively, this deficiency in this is the nature of human creation, like with Christian profession, the arts also rarely occupied by men, for example, kindergarten teachers. This is actually not a major obstacle for women to progress to become leaders because, after all, in the end, leaders will not fight alone. The next disadvantage of women leaders in their responsibility as a woman, a wife as well as a mother, who is actually quite heavy to do. Leaders have enough of their responsibilities, but are heavy in every home is a responsibility and a role that should not be abandoned. Because if women forget their roles as a wife and mothers, the world will actually be close to the brink of collapse. So, to form a new, better civilization, when we can start a revolution from women's leadership, there is no one key a woman must be taking ability. Women should have the potential to become a leader outside the home and also the second leader in the household. Sadly, give up leadership. If this is the case, major change will not be able to occur. We need balance. We need the strength and weakness of most women in instead avoid the world of women leaders. In the end, all the shortcomings that exist build a better civilization, even though the task is not an obstacle for a woman to be very heavy, they are actually able to face them with unexpected strength. Many developed countries are currently promoting women's emancipation campaigns. Nowadays, it is time for women to start working to appear in front of all groups, trying to be a solution, concrete action to bring change in the development and better prevention of the nation. Thank you.